ready, cause this ain't funny. My name's Amy Z and I'm about to make money. Hi everybody, it's me again, Amy from Zula Mercantile, and it's Friday, so we're going to talk about what sold. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it, how much it sold for, and then my net profit after we back out the eBay fees and the cost of goods. And this is going to help us all decide whether it's something that we want to buy again for all of our eBay stores. Let's go. First off is Smart Wool. It's the smartest wool. Let's see. This is it was just kind of a base layer, but it had a really neat decorative sleeve. Picked this up at the thrift store for $6.32. It sold for $30, and that gave me a profit of $18.87. And that only took a month to sell. It's a good time of year for that one. Okay, this next one is my hero found these and really wanted to try them out. For some reason, when we were at this estate sale, the comps looked better than they actually were. These are really big, probably this big. They're by Lefton. I'm sure you've heard of that. They're ceramic, beautiful, hand painted, fighting roosters. Gosh, we paid $26 for these roosters, and the comps, they looked like they were going to be over $100, but they just weren't. So I sold them for $60, gave me a profit of $23.60. So that's still fine. That took 3 months for those to sell. Okay, this next one here, I love this one. It was so cool. It's a vintage Arco hand crank card shuffler. So you put the deck in there and they came out in a little tray. It was really cute. And they had the original box and the instructions, and it was just $5 at a yard sale. I sold it for $30, giving me $19.99 in just 1 week. That was a good one. That was quick. Okay, this guy here is it's a vintage Catalina sweater. I had purchased 2 of these at an estate sale a long time ago. The first one sold immediately, in a week, and then this guy just sat for a good while. It was really nice. I paid $6.40 for it. It sold for $27, giving me a profit of $16.10, and that just took 9 months to sell. So maybe it's because, we went into spring and summer and nobody needed a sweater, but I went ahead and accepted a lower offer on this one just to kind of get it gone. But Catalina, they make good stuff. All right, ATA again. This was a padded vest and boxing glove set. And so I'm in these for $6. They sold for $40. I accepted an offer on those, giving me a profit of $26.98. And that just took 2 months to sell. And I am down to 2 helmets, and that is it. So somebody buy the helmets. That'd be great. It would make my day. Okay. This one is a vintage Pyrex boiling flask with flat bottom. You can get these with the round bottom as well, is what I learned about it. So you have to say it's a flat bottom or a round bottom. And this guy, I got him for $1. Wonder why it's a him in my mind. I don't know. I got this flask for $1, and it sold for $22, giving me $16.84. And that just took 2 weeks for that to sell. Okay, Serengeti sunglasses. These are great. I always pick them up. I always will. They always sell for me. I did pay up a little bit for these, $10. They sold for $50, giving me $32.60, and they just took a month to sell. I think I have one more pair of these listed right now, but Serengeti, always look them up. They even say the style inside right in here, so check them out. Easy enough to look up the comps on those. Okay, now this is a set of 4 vintage Kellogg's. There were prizes in cereal a long time ago. They're still in their bags and everything, but it's 4 different Kellogg's delivery trucks, so each one was a different type of cereal. These I paid just 50 cents for. They sold for $15.25, accepted that offer for that weird amount, giving me $11.66, and those took 9 months to sell, so that might not be something that I go for again, but for 50 cents and I still made a profit. That's fine. Okay, this was the brand. You usually just see it as UL on a box, but it actually stands for Underwriters Limited. And they make a lot of stuff, really. It's surprising how much you start noticing that logo once you know what it is. But anywho, I picked up, it's a string of jack-o'-lantern lights for $2, and those sold for $20, giving me $14.29, and those just took 2 months to sell. Okay, next up is some flatware. This was it's a vintage Northland Japan. This one want to say it was called Orleans, maybe. That one, I only paid $1.92 for the whole set, and it sold for $53, giving me a profit of $42.89, and those just took 3 months to sell. So again, flatware, it's just, don't sleep on the flatware. Okay, now I did you see 2 of them here. One person bought these 2 pairs of shoes, Chukka boots and Chelsea boots. So first one was a Kenneth Cole. It was their Chelsea boot, and I got those for just $1. They sold for $35, giving me $28.79, and those just took 2 months to sell. And then the next pair he got was an RJ Colt. There was like a Chukka boot, and I paid $5 for those. They sold for $34, giving me $23.28, and those just took 2 months to sell as well. So that was a good one. The guy was real nice. We had a few messages back and forth and made our deal. Okay, 3 more MREs are going out. This one, it was like a chicken, ham and cheese and beef maybe, or the third one. I don't remember, I'm sorry. But these, I'm $3 in. They sold for $33, giving me $24.15, and those just took a week to sell. So I have one more 3-pack left. Hopefully that'll sell too. It's funny, sometimes when you have a lot of something, they seem to like really sell, and then when you get the last the last little bunch of it, and it just will sit and sit. So hopefully that won't be the case with these. I do hope maybe right now someone's looking at them. We'll see. Okay, next up here, my hero found this one for just $1. We went to a yard sale, everything was $1. And this was a Ransburg is the brand. They still make things, but this is a vintage paint resistance meter with probe. The only comp I could find was just someone's trying to sell the probe only, but I have the whole thing. So I went ahead and shot for a high number, and then ended up just taking an offer on this one. So we're $1 in. I sold it for $160, giving me $136.38, and that was just 1 week. So I don't know, I love stuff like that. That's cool. And I did put in there that I'm unable to test it, selling it as is. And I mean, that's just the way it has to be, because I don't really know how to test a paint resistance meter or what that means. But I mean, I did enough research to put the information in the ad, but I mean, that's all you can do, right? Someone knows what they're buying if they're buying that. That's what I figure. Okay, it's going a totally different direction. This was a vintage Lands of Salisbury flannel nightgown, no tags. This one I paid $4 for. I sold it for $57, which is great, giving me $44.48, and that just took 4 months to sell. Again, going right into the perfect season for that. Okay, next up here, this is the Lulu's I Love You Amore dress. It's gorgeous. I bought it not knowing that someone had hemmed it very poorly. There's a really bad hem job, but you couldn't see it. It was only on the inside of the dress, so it's still very wearable, and it still was new with tags. So I listed it low. You can usually get more for this dress. The I Love You Amore dress is velvet and had a sheer overlay. It's pretty. So I spent $9.46 thinking I was going to get a lot more, but I sold it for just $30, giving me a profit of $15.74, and that took 6 months to sell. And I did have a lot of people interested but concerned about that hemming. I don't blame them. It's my mistake, but I still made some money, so thank goodness. Okay, next up here is let's see, it was a pair of sorry, I just lost my mind. They are vintage Felco pruning shears, loppers. Those, I think we might have talked about it before, because I sold it once before, but the guy never paid, so I did have to cancel and relist, and it sold again immediately. So I'm $1 in on these Felco shears, not loppers. They sold for $70, giving me a profit of $58.60, and they just took a week to sell after I relisted them. So great. Okay, now let's see here. What am I? Something got messed up. Okay. These Curtis. Okay, here I'm back. I'm back, everyone. Okay, Curtis. Do you remember I bought all of those? Let me get on my screen here with my. Okay, here we go. This, remember I bought the set of Curtis locksmithing kit, and I still have pieces to sell, which is great. So this person contacted me, and they wanted to buy 2 of each, 2 of the cam holders, and then 2 of the saddle assemblies. So I'm basically like $4 or less in on these 4 pieces. The 2 cam holders sold for a total of $88, giving me a profit of $73.18. And then the 2 saddle assemblies, those sold for $68, giving me a profit of $57. And both of them, it was just 4 months ago that I started listing those, so that's great. Okay, this next one here, this is a purse. It's an Aneshki. I'm not laughing, like making fun of it. I'm laughing at myself because I can't pronounce this name, but these are, they're hand-painted leather purses. They're really pretty. I got this one here for $5. No, $6, sorry. And it sold for $42, giving me $29.70, and that just took 3 months to sell. So when you see that brand, if you can pronounce it, I applaud you. Pick it up. Pick it up. Okay, so next up here, this one is a Dakota Toomey soft brown leather, really nice. It was a crossbody bag, vintage. Got that one for $5. Sold it for $61.50, giving me a profit of $47.47, and that just took 5 months for that one to sell. And I still have like a big duffel of the same great brown leather, so I'm hoping that one will go soon. Okay, this next one was a mistake. The brand is called Scrapbook. I think it was probably, like one of those things that you can buy like on Etsy, an artisan brand type of thing. I just thought it was so cute. I paid $3.23 for it. I ended up just taking an offer because I know that it's just not something that's going to sell for a ton of money because it's an unknown brand. And it was like, if it really small, it was a medium, but it probably was better for small, extra small. And I have all the measurements in there, and I did even note run small. So somebody sent me an offer for $13. I went ahead and took it. So I made $7.29 on it, and that just took 2 months to sell. But still, I don't think I'll pick up Scrapbook again. Who knows? Maybe I will. We'll see. Okay, the next one is, this is a P2P HDP. Prepare to Protect, I think is what the P2P, yeah, that's what that stands for. But it's a pepper propellant gun, and it was brand new. I got it at a yard sale with a bottle of the little projectiles. But then it turned out the projectiles didn't match with the actual item, so I had to separate them, and I ended up selling those anyway. We'll talk about those in a minute. But so this one I'm into for $15. It sold for $150. Yay. That one gave me a profit of $113.67, and that just took 2 weeks to sell. So that was great. And I love that it was totally factory sealed. It has not been touched at all. Okay, now going back to some clothing. This is a Free People, really neat sweater. It was a black open knit on the back. This one I paid $2 for. Sold for $21, giving me $15.15, and that took 9 months to sell. Okay, next up here, this is a pair of Kit House rechargeable wireless microphones. And these, I got it in a big bundle of things with those soundboards that I've been selling. So it turns out, because I just divided up, each piece cost me $8. So this set of 2 did cost me $8. I sold for $25, giving me $12.45, and they took 6 weeks to sell. The other equipment that I got in the setup was selling for much more. So I feel like that's fine. I'll take offers on these. Let's just get them to someone that can use them. Okay, this is my favorite thing that I sold this week. This is a 1989 Wolf Creek. The artist is called Karen Rankin, and it's a wood carved mermaid, and it's a folk art kind of design. She has articulating her little tail and her waist, and she was just so pretty. I got her for just $5, and she sold for $106, giving me a profit of $85.40, and she just took 2 months to sell. And I got some other folk art things at the same sale, but they're just not, maybe not, just not as cool as this mermaid, but hopefully they will sell. They will sell soon. Okay, this I just got, I think last week, maybe the week before, but this is the Pottery Barn Kids. It's a giant felt Christmas tree, and it had the little pockets so you could do an Advent situation with it. Gosh, it only took 2 days for this one to sell. Spent $5 on it. It sold for $40, giving me $28.49. And like I said, just 2 days. I noticed that there's none of this style listed anywhere, but similar ones were selling, in the same range. So that's great. Okay. Here's the projectiles. These, they're just pepper. Let's see those. So I did spend $5 on these. They sold for $27.05, and that gave me a profit of $17.63. And again, just 2 weeks. It was funny because the gun sold and then this sold a couple hours later. And I thought, oh, I hope they're not going to the same person. And they didn't. Okay, these were really... It's my first time I've ever found bed stew. I picked up these shoes. This was from their Cobbler series, and they're distressed looking on purpose. I know they look a little rough, but that's how they are. I spent $10 on them. They did sell for $77, giving me a profit of $55.69, and those just took 6 weeks to sell. Okay, into the Christmas zone here. This is a vintage Eli C. Royston, hand-carved, hand-painted, neat little Santa. I picked him up for $5. It sold for $37, giving me a profit of $26.28, and it just took 6 weeks for that to sell. Okay, this was a while back. This was a vintage made by Kenner, 1979. Paid $2 for this guy. It's from the Megabug series, and it's their spider. And that one sold for $45. It's going international too, giving me a profit of $35.85. And that just took 2 months to sell. I will keep my eye out for these Megabug things. They're highly collectible, but it's hard to find with all their legs and everything in working order. This one had some issues, but of course they were all disclosed in that. So, okay, I sold one thing on Poshmark. These are the Prana Gold Rush pants. Got these for 50 cents, so couldn't resist that. They sold for $30, giving me $23.50, and they just took 6 weeks to sell for those. So, I mean, Prana can be hit or miss for me, but if you know the style, if it's on the tag, it's so helpful, and you can just look them up. But for 50 cents, nobody can lose on that. So, that's it. That's all I want to talk about with you today. So, gosh, it's Friday, so I want to wish you a great weekend. I hope you're able to get out there and source some good things, and gosh, get it sold. I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.